Pokemon have finally revealed a brand new VGC simulation game that will come out in the future. And oh my gosh, it looks so good. And we're going to be talking about the potential ups and potential downs and what this game also includes from this amazing Pokemon presents that happened the other day. If you guys enjoyed the type of content, let me know by leaving a like down below, and also let me know that how you felt about the Pokemon Day that just happened and what your favorite reveal was for the event. But for today, we are going to be talking about Pokemon Champions, the brand new VGC battle simulation game, and this was probably one of the biggest highlights that I had for myself personally. I love VGC, as you can tell from the channel. It was an amazing reveal. It's not something that I was definitely expecting, but it was cool. I spend a lot of my time playing, Pokemon Showdown and things like that to practice my team. So this would be, I would assume, something along those lines. We did see a little bit in the trailer, enough to give us like a good bit of information about what this would actually entail, and a lot of it is just to do with basically learning how to play VGC, but in a very new way. So from what we got from the trailer, which we'll show off in a second, we saw a bunch of new different things. We saw things like the main part of it was the Charizard going into Mega Charizard, as well as a Dondozo going into Terra Water. Now, on their own, it's not exactly a big deal. We know Charizard can Mega Evolve, and we know Dondozo can also go into Terrestrialization, much as anyone in Scarlet and Violet, but not at the same time. We've not had Megas and Terrestrializing in the same game at the same time, so this is kind of like where the new kind of thing comes in. It seems like they're kind of mixing around gimmicks, which is very, very cool. A lot of people love gimmicks in Pokemon games. It is very, very good. From Mega Evolution to Z moves to Gigantamaxing to Terrestrialization, there is always something for everybody whenever they play VGC, and this is absolutely great. I really do like this concept. I just had one or two little bits of problems with this. So the main problem that I kind of had with this was, how does all of the gimmicks work in terms of balancing? Because everything kind of had like their own pro and con, but it worked because they were always in their own respective generation. Like, for example, Mega Evolution, the Pokemon that would Mega Evolve would get boosted stats, but you could only do one of them, and that would only stick to that one Pokemon. And it wasn't like everyone had Mega Evolution, even though I would very much love everyone to have a Mega Evolution. It only worked for a certain amount, and then that would also change the abilities and things like that. But again, it was only one Pokemon per team per game. Things like Gigantamaxing, it would double your HP and go into this, really obviously huge form, and then each move would have a secondary effect. Like if you did the fire type move for Gigantamaxing, it would set up the sun, the water one would set up the rain, you'd sometimes get terrains up, you'd get all these really cool things up, and then certain Pokemon would do little extra bits for their Gigantamax forms. Z moves were like this really big one-off move, but you could only do it once per game. And Terrestrialization, as we know, you turn into any typing that you've terrestrialized into, but it's only one Pokemon per game, and that thing changed, and the moves changes, the damage changes, and the type matchup changes. I don't really know how that plays out in terms of mixing them all together, and I'm a little bit scared because I'm going to be a bit wary, because if nothing's fine-tuned, then it just means that one gimmick will technically be stronger than the rest, and in my opinion that might be Gigantamaxing. Because if you get a chance to get a really bulky Pokemon, like for example Dondozo, you could really just get a Commander Dondozo and then Gigantamax it, and now you have this really strong Pokemon for 3 turns that will never go down, because its HP, which is already huge in the base stats, is now doubled on top of that. And that is a problem. That is a very, very huge problem. So I don't know how they're going to limit this, or I don't know how they're going to make this equal to everyone. I don't know if everyone's going to get access to, the other gimmicks like Z moves and Gigantamaxing and Terrestrializing. I don't know if it's the Pokemon that got this treatment can only use them, like the Pokemon that can Gigantamax can only Gigantamax. So like things like Hatterene, things like Grimmsnarl, only they can Gigantamax. Charizard will obviously just get everything because Charizard's Charizard, but then maybe like just the Gen 9 Pokemon might be able to terrestrialize, but then that kind of halts them because you don't know what they could do when paired with, I don't know, like another gigant, you don't really know what the potential is. So I'm a bit wary to see what exactly can go down in this type of situation. But apart from that, that's kind of like my only gripe with it. I hope they do the balancing very well, because again, I would love to play a game like this. This seems absolutely amazing, and it seems like kind of every Pokemon's up for grabs here, as we see a Dondozo and an Aegislash, 2 Pokemon that have never coexisted together in a game that we've seen before are now coexisting. So it seems like you can kind of just mix match anybody you want to. Same thing with like Pokemon Showdown as well, that we've all been accustomed to for VGC players. I'm really happy about that. I'm very, very happy about that, that we can kind of like mix match who we want and kind of get new styles though, new terms of play, all these new crazy things that we can do. And I really, really am a fan of this. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited. My only thing is that I hope they do the balancing very, very well. Another thing that I really, really like is that they're not only doing this for the Switch, they're doing this for mobile devices as well, which I am so happy about. Like, I've been playing Showdown on like a browser page on my phone for ages now, and I would just love to get just one app where I can just load it up, get and just be on with my way. I don't need to boot up my Safari on my iPhone, and I don't need to reload the page and go through all of this crazy stuff just to get it working. I can just boot up an app, like go find it on my phone, boot up the app and just get on and just play. I am so happy with that. And the fact that you can also mix match your team as well. So it's not just like, oh, you have to find new Pokemon and mix them around. You can bring old Pokemon that you already have access to from your Scarlet and Violet, from your Sword and Shield. You can put it into Pokemon Home, which then transfers into this, which is so massive. That is so good. So again, if you've got a team that you really just want to practice and you're not at home and you don't have your Switch on you, you could just bring your team into Home, transfer it to here, and then you can play on your phone while you're outside without even needing to bring your Switch. It's huge. This is really, really amazing. I really do like this. The fact that you can cross-section this is so good. I really do enjoy this. I really do like this, and I really hope that this is so worth it. It's going to be such an amazing experience to see like all these new different play styles, all these new different things going on. It's going to be absolutely massive. So even looking at like the pictures here, it's quite convenient because obviously you have Dondozo here, which is obviously representing Scarlet and Violet. You have Aegislash here, obviously representing the Legend ZA that we're going to get very on later, because obviously Aegislash is a Gen 6 Pokemon and Legend ZA is set in Kalos, Gen 6. We have the Hisuian Samurott here just to prove that you can cross-section this with other Legends games as well, so Legends Arceus, and you can transfer it. And then of course Charizard, because Charizard is pretty much like the poster boy, the secret poster boy at this point. It is Pikachu, but let's be real, Pokemon knows it's Charizard, and we know it's Charizard as well. But altogether, I am super excited for this game. I think it's going to be a very good experience. I hope that they fine-tune the gimmicks really well. I want to suggest that maybe it's the Mega Evolutions that can only Mega Evolve. It can only be the Gigantamax forms that can only Gigantamax and things like that. Of course, everybody I think would have access to a Z-move. Everybody would have access to Terastallization. But again, the only ones that can do something special is the ones that keep it. I don't know how they're going to balance this correctly. I just hope they balance it well, because the last thing we want to see is just the same, you know, swapping around of Pokemon being like in the meta and just never moving until otherwise, like until they get nerfed somehow or in some way. So I hope they fine-tune this well. That's kind of like, again, my only kind of condition here. But otherwise, I am very excited for this game. I think this is going to be an amazing game. I think it's been long overdue for VGC players to get this kind of love here, to get something that's like portable, not just on the Switch, but something on the phone, like we've had for the TCG side. We've had TCG Live. So I think this is absolutely amazing, and I am super ready for this. This is going to be such an amazing game. But what do you guys think of Pokemon Champions as well? What do you think about how the gameplay is going to be like? Let me know in the comments below. And what team are you excited to pair with each other when this game comes out? But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Right guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.